The earth?
The earth is under the sun. So he saw under the sun the place of judgment. So what was happening is on earth, this is where judgment was taking place. You follow me, priest?
I get it.
Up under the sun, the place of judgment. Now, think about this. If the place of judgment is under there and you're being judged for doing righteous works, up under the sun, the place of judgment is on. Yeah, you got to do something with that. If up under the sun, the place of judgment is, and you've been judged for righteous works, then that means heaven would be where?
On earth.
On earth. Hell would be where?
On earth.
He didn't say this was heaven or hell. He said the place of judgment, right?
God.
Okay. And in that place of judgment, what did he say was there? Read it.
God. Wickedness was there.
Wickedness? What is wickedness doing in heaven? If this is where the mind dwells, why is there wickedness there? You follow me? The place where the Most High is. This is the place of judgment. Don't you die and you ascend into the heavens, and then you got judgment day where you stand Most High, and you know this, that, or the other goes on. However they get, you go before the pearly gates. You go before the pearly gates, and then what they basically got is the same scene, that you see in the pyramids, where you get a judgment, and if not, then you get ate by a dog head, a man with a dog head, or you get, this is the Christianity version of what's really going on as far as judgment, the judgment scene from Egypt. Greeks took, right? But in reality, the brother is telling you, I saw under the sun, which is on the earth, the place of judgment, and wickedness was there. Do you see wickedness going on in the earth? Keep going.
And the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there.
This is also the place of righteousness. Do you see righteousness going on in the earth?
So that's what jammed me up when he said, and the place of righteousness.
Do you see righteousness going on in the earth?
What?
1 second now.
Not really.
What the hell are you doing in this class?
Oh, Salaki, sir. Con.
You understand?
Con.
The righteousness is the men that and the women that chose to follow and do what Christ said to do, to go back and to save their brothers, to help brothers change their life, to counsel brothers who need it, to help brothers get off dope, to help sisters off the pole, and to follow and come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. Why is that so important, and why is that righteousness? Because that was our duty from the beginning. Precept.
Like it said, Deuteronomy 28 and 15.
Everybody like that. Yeah, that's not the one I was looking for. Anybody else got one? This is a precept I will pull more than any other precept in the Bible. Go ahead. You sound kind of muffled out.
I think this precept with Moses took before the children of Israelite and death.
I pulled that one a lot too, but that ain't the one I'm looking for. All right, Eric. All right, go ahead. One more shot at it.
Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
I pulled that one too, but I pulled that one at camp. All right, let me go ahead and give it to y'all. Everybody go here. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Go ahead.
This definitely is your favorite, right?
Let's get it. Go. I still got you on your question. You got. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep His commandment, for this is the whole duty of men.
Y'all see that? So if we're doing that, we're doing righteousness. Do you see anybody that fears the Lord? Do you see anybody that's keeping His commandments? Right? If you don't, then there is no righteousness going in the earth. But you see men that's coming from the gutter, men that's coming from out the struggle, men that don't have nothing to be proud of, to live for, getting an identity back, finding some type of pride about themselves, pulling themselves up by their bootstrap, saying, I ain't gonna sell dope no more. I ain't gonna smoke dope no more. I ain't gonna deal with whores no more. I'm gonna stop everything I love doing in the world to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. If that ain't righteousness, I don't know what it is. Who else doing that? Your Christian pastors don't even want to deal with these niggas. They don't. They ain't trying to fix nothing. They rather sit there and shake their head as they watch brothers go out there and die, and not even that the Lord is punishing them because they not doing what they're supposed to do. Right? Y'all got me? This is the righteousness that's going on. Brothers doing the work that Christ did is the righteousness. You going out and teaching, which you will be able to do now because you done passed that test, is the righteousness. You taking time out where you could be, you know what I'm saying, feeding your flesh whatever you would like to feed it, whatever you love doing, but instead you going out to wake up your people. That's the righteousness that's going on in the earth, right? And it's been like that. Even when all Israel was falling off, you still had prophets, you still had men that would stand up and do what the Lord said to do. That's the righteousness. Now, everything else is the iniquity, right? So this is the place of iniquity and righteousness, because everything that the Lord wants to happen on the earth is happening. What's the precept? Yeah, this is a precept class. What's the precept? The good and the bad. What the good and the bad that's going on in the earth, that's what the Lord wants. Go ahead. Isaiah 45 and 7. You got your book, Trooper, or you still need somebody to read it for you? Go ahead and read it out.
I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Most High, do all these things.
I, the Most High, do all these things. So the evil that's going on, the Lord is behind it, and the good that's going on, the Lord is behind it too, right? But the evil that's happening is because men are not keeping the laws that the Lord gave you to keep you out of certain situations. So go back to the precept the brother was pulling, and let's continue. Let's break it down now that we had the understanding of what the righteousness he's talking about, and what the iniquity was. Go ahead and read it when you get there.
And place of righteousness that
started from the top, started from the top.
And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there.
Okay, so the place under the sun we have established is the earth. So I saw on the earth that judgment was happening and wickedness was there. Keep going.
And the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there.
And the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. What's supposed to be happening in the earth and what's happening is two different things. We have already established that when Christ taught us how to pray, that the Lord's kingdom would come in earth as it is in heaven. When the Most High says to do something in heaven, nobody goes against it. There's no powers or spirits that's fighting against the Most High in his realm. You understand? But on the earth, it's happening. So in the place of righteousness, where it's supposed to be righteousness and righteous people ruling, iniquity is there. Keep going.
Verse 17. I said in my heart, God, I said in my heart, the power shall judge the righteous and the wicked. For there is a time there for every purpose and for every work.
You get it? You get it? That's heaven and hell in a nutshell. Right here on earth, while brothers that you knew and grew up with is going to be strung out on dope, is going to be dying of AIDS, is going to be losing their life in gun violence, dealing with all type of sicknesses because they refuse to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You're going to have brothers that's sworn and took an oath that they'll never do what they want to do again, that they will always do what the Most High wants them to do. That's the righteousness. And those brothers will be getting rewarded right here in the earth. Now, that's what Christ was praying for. You understand? All right. What Pac say? Can you see me, nigga? Am I clear to you? Salaki. Go ahead. Go ahead. Did you need another one of the breakdowns off of that?
I don't want.
All right.
That one was jamming me up.
You got it now? All right. I'm going to ask you to break it down to me in a couple of weeks. So just make sure you got it. Gabar, did you have a question? Trooper Gabar, Salakia.
I don't want.
All right. Somebody else said Salakia, and I kind of kept it moving. Did anybody else have any questions? All right, Most High in Christ. Nobody had no questions. I got Bible scholars up in here. For everybody on. Go ahead.
No, since nobody had a question, I did had a comment earlier when I was like, when we was on the Kingdom of Heaven, and describing the Kingdom of Heaven, I meant to say Isaiah 14:1 through 21, instead of just 14:21. So just describe.
Salakia, you meant to say what verse? What chapter and verse?
Isaiah 14, chapter 14, verse 1 through 20.
Isaiah 14, verse 1 through 20. Is there a key verse that we can hit on real quick that would kind of sum it up, or a key one or two? So look through there and see if you can pull something out that just hits on the point. And I'll break it down and tell you whether or not you was on it. All right? All right. All right, so we ain't got no. Get up.
I mean, I'm just going to make a statement that he can't be sure of the I love that one. I think that's a good person about it. Cut every doctor.
It cut everybody, but here's what you got to understand about what Christ did when he came, right? When Christ came on the earth, all the Pharisees were so wise and great in their own little way. They want to make everything deep. And this is why I do this class. Y'all would probably be surprised how much I study. Like right now, like even in the rebirth or how they redid the Hebrew, to create what they call the modern Hebrew and the biblical Hebrew they have now. Now, I don't speak fluent Hebrew. I can read it, but I don't speak fluent Hebrew. But I'm more of a history person. Most people don't even know that this happened, that they took Hebrew and changed the language. It's a reason why we say that the Lashawan Kodash is the original language, and other people say it. And there's verses in the Bible that back up the fact that there's was different dialects ever since the beginning. Now, this is the type of stuff I'm studying, but at the same time, you know what? I want to come in here and I want to break down John 3:16. I want to break down heaven and hell. I want to break down Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 because it makes it easy. Christ said, unless you become as one of these babes, you ain't gonna enter, you ain't gonna be able to, and you ain't gonna get it. That's why we do this. So for every YouTube selection, this is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Back in 1969, we're now in the commanding General Yohana, right? This is the Israelite 101 class. Every Monday, we live from West Connect Library in Duval County. I got my brothers from all Florida. His brothers, you know what I'm saying, from the Florida school in here. I got troopers, officers, et cetera, et cetera. And what we do is we get down here and break down the basics, right, of what we teach here at the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Make sure you understand it and you're not confounded by a Christian or a fake Israelite group about what we teach when they telling you something that really has nothing to do with what we actually teach. All right. So give me 1 Corinthians 3 and 2. Let's go ahead and get the class going. Go ahead.
This is not on topic or anything. I was just wondering, since you brought up the YouTube, is it too wild if we share the that flyer that I made for the to promote the classes? Is it too wild to share that?
That flyer is already on the ISUPK Florida page as shared for this class.
Oh, okay.
I use that flyer every week.
Okay, I'm content.
You ain't gotta worry. You ain't got to beg for brotherhood in here. You did the work. It's getting used. You better believe your work is not in vain.
Come on, content.
All right. Somebody got it? 1 Corinthians 3 and 2. Come on, let's get it. The brother here got it. Go ahead.
1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 2. I have fed you with milk and not with meat.
I have fed you with milk and not with meat. This is Paul talking to the brothers in Corinthians that are in the Hebrews in Corinth that think they Corinthians. And he's saying, I fed you with milk and not with meat. Keep going.
For hitherto ye were not able to bear it, neither yet now are ye able.
Because at that time you wasn't able to bear it, and you're still not. Now, is Paul talking about literal food here? Absolutely not. Paul is talking spiritually. He's speaking spiritually to them. Now, if you're a person that don't understand, you're like, well, what a grown man gonna do with some meat? With some milk. That is not gonna fill up your stomach. But if you a baby, that is a full course meal for you. That's enough. It's enough to suffice you, enough to carry you to the next level, and enough to get you where you need to go. Right? So this is what he's talking about. He's not talking about food. And he said, I fed you with milk and not with strong meat. It's because Christ, like Christ said, you got to come as babes. And you got to be willing to accept the beginning and the basics of what it is you never knew. The pastor ain't teach it to you. Your mama ain't teach it to you. How did you know? Even when you found out you was an Israelite, you found it out on the internet by happen chance, looking for fight videos or searching for porn, and all of a sudden something pop up and tell you you're an Israelite. It ain't like you was searching for the truth. Even if you thought you was, you wasn't. So this is Paul. He's breaking it down to the Israelites, saying that he had fed you with milk and not with strong meat. That's my intention in here. All right. I don't want to give you too much. General Muhammad's got a class right now going on. He's going to be breaking down everything. But for the brothers that want to get the basics of what we teach and become officers, you better know this milk. You better know the beginning. Don't try to go too fast, get ahead of yourself, and be so deep. Because everything Christ cut them niggas with that thought they was so deep was milk. If you go back and you watch Captain Tazariak when he debated Polite was coming with all this extraterrestrial, this, that, or the other alien science. And Captain Tazariak could say something like, well, what that's going to do to get niggas off crack? Or what that's going to do to stop AIDS? What that's going to do to get us out of prison? You got to know the basics of what we teach, because brotherhood will keep you out of prison. Knowing that Christ loves you and nobody else will give you a mind to go ahead and keep these commandments. Understanding that you cannot listen to your woman and it's not her place to lead you will keep you out of a lot of trouble. Everybody understand that, right?
Oh, God.
All right, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and try to get into tonight's topic. Now, I'm behind a little bit. We ran into something. So I'm going to speed through. Now, don't be afraid to say, Salakia, can you break this down a little bit more? I don't understand it. Can you break this down a little bit more? I have a question about it. All right? And normally what I do is I'll go to 10 precepts for one verse. I might still do that just because I know what class I'm teaching and I know my job, and it don't matter if we go through 3 scriptures if you get the point, because they all gonna say lead back to the same thing. This one is the Lord didn't choose everybody. So if you are in the truth, the Lord chose you, right? The Lord doesn't choose everybody. So if you in the truth, it's because the Lord chose you. One thing I had to do every single week, Officer Shawar had to take me to Romans chapter 9, because when I came into the truth, I wanted to pretend like everybody was in the truth. Like my mama, she really don't know. If she knew, she'll follow. No, she won't. Yo, my woman, we ain't never know this. So that's why she got blonde weave, and that's why she still, no, they don't want to change their life. And if you do, you better thank the Most High for having mercy on you and giving you a mind to do that. Take me to Proverbs 16 and 9. Let's get it. Proverbs 16 and 9. Whoever get it.
Oh, God. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 9. A man's heart deviseth his way.
A man's heart deviseth his way. Now, when you see that word heart in the Bible, what does it mean? What is it talking about? Is it talking about your heart that pumps blood? Is it talking about your heart that loves your wife and your children? What is it talking about when it's talking about your heart in the Bible? Go ahead, Itazab. Trooper Itazab, Salakia.
Oh, God, it's talking about your mind.
It's talking about your mind. A man's mind deviseth his way. At one point in my life, I thought I was going to be the next Scarface, the biggest dope dealer in the world. I thought I was going to be the Bishop Don Magic Wand and have all kind of hoes on the hostro. I'm here. I'm here today. Did I figure that out myself? That neither one of those things was going to amount to anything for me? Was I smart enough to get, oh, you know what? That just don't sound like fun no more. Absolutely not. A man's heart deviseth his way, meaning you come up with what you think you need to do for yourself. Keep going.
Follow God. But the Lord directeth his steps.
But the Most High directed his steps. So ain't nothing happening by happenstance, by chance. If you ran across a brother, I'll tell this story only because I heard the brother tell this story himself. Captain Katazar said he went to Miami to get a plug on something illegal and came back with a flyer and ended up going to a class where Officer Shawar had been down there teaching in the library, just like I am, with him and a trooper, and nobody was showing up. Brothers raised to a captain of 10,000 now because of that flyer. Because of that man that went to the library when nobody was coming and continued to keep and follow the orders that he was given. The Lord directed the paths. And guess what? That brother, who people say is a white man, has brought many brothers in the truth. I being one of them. Officer Dawada being another one. And the list goes on and on. Counseled many brothers, saved families. The Lord has used him to do a mighty work when all he was trying to do was what the hell he wanted to do. Everybody understand, right? Give me John chapter 15, verse 16. And while we go into that, I remember, you know what I'm saying, me learning I was an Israelite from another fake Israelite group and being like, oh, they all the same, man. You know, we all Israel. The Lord, you know, he just wanted us out of the church and not even realizing I was just in another church. Just in another church. We have it all. He going back to Officer Shawar, getting the breakdowns and cutting me as a trooper. Dead ass wrong. But it helped me get to where I am today. Salakia for that. Anyways, who got it? John 15 and 16. Let's get it. Go ahead.
John chapter 15, verse 16. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whosoever ye shall ask.
Read it again. That what?
Salakia. That whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you.
In the name of Jesus, give me $1 million. Is that what that means? La. We already went over that earlier. We don't know what to pray for. Just pray for the Lord's will. That's what he's talking about. When he said you ask in my name, when you ask it the way that Christ asked it. Christ said, I don't want to die for these brothers, but nevertheless, not my will, but yours. Christ asked for what the Lord wanted. That's why he got what he was asking for. Back to the beginning. You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you. Right? This is Christ speaking, right? This in red? This is Christ speaking. Christ is the one who chose you, bruh. You ain't come here. You think you such a righteous man. You came on in the truth. Oh, I done came in the truth. Nigga, if it was up to you, where would you be right now? You hear about the spirit of and the mercy of the Most High and Christ. Because the Lord had mercy on you. And you know 10 dudes right now that you could have been with when they got murdered, that you could have been with when they got robbed, that you could have been with when they got 20 years, that you could have been with running the train on that broad that got AIDS, et cetera, et cetera. Everybody understand, right? You have not chosen me, but I've chosen you and ordained you. Ordained you to do what? To come into this truth, to learn and to teach other men. Christ started a camp. What did Christ, how did Christ start a camp? He went and he got brothers and taught them brothers to go out and teach other brothers to change their life and come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. And ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit shall remain, In other words, I remember when I got the video department, Captain Kaposh told me, he was like, when you get to a point where you got it, then what you want to do is you want to teach, get you a trooper. Now, not no weak ass trooper that's going to fall out the truth, but get you a trooper that's strong and teach him how to do what you know how to do. He's not even the brother that taught me. It was Officer Yawasop and Officer Maccabi. He was like, call that brother down in Florida and tell him everything I told you. This is what Christ was doing. I'm going to teach you, and now you go out and teach other brothers. This is what we doing to this day. I ain't smart enough to come up with this on my own. Everything that I'm telling y'all, these is my notes that I took from Officer Shawar when I called every Sunday at 11 o'clock. It was just me and him on the phone because there wasn't nobody else in Florida. And I took these notes, and I'm giving them to y'all. And guess what? The Lord is raising up men to be officers of 50, just like I was. Officer Shawar was an officer of 1,000 when he was teaching me, just like I'm an officer of 1,000 now. Y'all understand, right? The fruit is the men that's coming in here changing their life, the ones that remain. Now, don't get it twisted. As you remain in this truth, you're going to see brothers that you was like, damn, that brother was strong. Where is he at? Somewhere getting high. Somewhere sleeping with some other brother's man. Somewhere letting this woman run him. Them ain't the fruit we want. We don't want no cowards in our camp. And whatsoever you shall ask in my name, you may have it. Give me Deuteronomy 30 and 19. The brother said, I like to pull this one. It's definitely getting pulled today. Life is about choices, right? The Lord could make any choice he wants. He chose you, black man. He chose you, Hispanic man. He chose you, Native American. He chose you. What you gonna do about that? Now, with that knowledge, he also gave you a responsibility to choose him back. Salaki, you got it?
Oh, okay.
All right, go ahead, trooper. The trooper with me got it.
Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and cursing. Therefore choose life, and thy seed may live.
I call heaven and earth. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you. The reason he says against you, because the Lord already knew that we was not going to choose life, that we was going to sin. That's why he even gave us the other side of it. Remember, when Adam and Eve did against what the Lord said, now men knew what it was to be punished for not doing what the Lord said to do. That wasn't even an option before then because he was in the truth. Now with Moses, he's saying to set this against you. I've set before you life and death. The life is the blessings that come along with keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. The death is the curses that come along with breaking it. The wages of sin is death, right? Blessings and curses, same thing I just said. Now, this is the choice you have to make. You got a choice, but I'm telling you what to choose. Choose to do what the Lord say. Choose to be blessed. Choose to be on high above all nations on the face of the earth. Choose to live. Choose for your seed to be like Abraham's seed. Everybody understand, right? Deuteronomy 31 and 16. Let's get it. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse what? I didn't hear the verse.
Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 16. Con.
And the Most High said unto Moses, Behold, thou shalt sleep with thy father, and this people will rise up and go a-whoring after the gods of the strangers of the land, whether they go to be among them and will forsake me and break my covenant which I have made with them.
See, y'all thought I was playing, right? I just told y'all that. The Lord already knew what you was going to do. Why? Because he knows everything. This is the same people that he was mad that he created. The same people he destroyed in the flood. Same people. Same hard-head, stiff-necked people. We the same people. The thing but the right thing. You ever heard people in the hood say that's too much like right? I wonder why they won't do that. That's too much like right. Y'all ain't never heard that? I'm old school. He said, I don't know why he won't bring me my money, man. That's just too much like right. people say that in the hood where I come from. He's not gonna do anything. Why you think anything that's bad for you, they be like call it like devil's food cake or something like that? I heard people talking today about eating healthy. They was like, anything that tastes good is gonna be bad for you. This is us. But it ain't us from us because we have a zeal for the Lord, not according to knowledge. What our flesh and our mind tell us to do is to follow after the gods of the other nations. That's the problem. If we do the opposite of what the white man doing, we'll be keeping majority of the laws. Deuteronomy 31:16 say, and the Most High said to Moses, he told Moses way back then, 4,000 years ago plus, behold, you're going to be dead, right? And this people is going to rise up and go whoring after the gods of the strangers in the land. Whether they go to be among them and will forsake me and break my covenant. Now, did we do that? The Lord knew what he was talking about. And this was going to happen. Now, this he talking about the same people he chose. Read verse 17.
Then my anger shall be kindled against them in that day, and I will forsake them.
You wonder why, Salakia, one second. You wonder why Martin Luther King couldn't save us. You wonder why marching ain't gonna save us. You wonder why no justice, no peace, hands up, don't shoot, Black Lives Matter, none of these things. Even the Christian church and the pastors throwing water and oil on you and saying, "Ho Baba Shanda," none of that ain't gonna save you. The Lord already knew you was gonna break it. And his anger, he's mad. Daddy is mad at you. Now you want him to take you off punishment. What you got to do? You on punishment. You can't go nowhere. You can't be great. No matter how much money you got, they still tell you to shut up and dribble. You still a nigga. You still going to get locked up. You're going to get caught for tax evasion, fraud. You're going to get to be 80, 70 years old. And the white women that you slept with back in the 60s going to say you raped them. Everything is happening to this people. Why? Because his anger is kindled against them. And because we have forsaken the Most High, he is forsaking us. And he said he was going to do it. What else he said he was going to do?
And break my covenant, which I have made with them.
Salakia. Oh, keep going. Go ahead.
Then my anger shall be kindled against them in that day. And I will forsake them, and I will hide my face from them. And they shall be devoured, and many evils and troubles shall befall them. So that they will say in that day, are not these evils come upon us, because our power is not among us?
See, that's the thing. We the only people saying that. Like, people don't understand. Like, we talk about the white man, but he's just doing his job. You can't make straight what the Lord made crooked, is what the scripture says. He's doing his job. He's being who he's supposed to be. Are we? Are we? We praying for that day where our people will wake up and say, are not these evils come upon us because our God is not among us? The Lord ain't with us? Go ahead.
And I will surely hide my face in that day for all the evils which they shall have wrought, and that they are turned into other gods, unto other gods. Now therefore write ye this song for you, and teach it the children of Israel. Put it in their mouth, that this song may be a witness for me against the children of Israel.
You can start right there. As a child, I knew every single song that came on the radio. It doesn't matter what it was. I could hear it one time and I can sing it the next time. To this day, it's still like that. All that foolishness that I hate, I know all them songs. But do we know the song that the Lord told us to do? The song that he told Moses, right? For us to remember why we in the situation we in. How we get out of it. It's all about making the right choices. Give me Matthew 22:1. We're going to have to run through this one. All right. Matthew 22. Nah, I don't think we can do that. We can't do that. Give me Proverbs 3 and 5. Christians love this one. Here's how to make the right choices. It's easy to make the wrong choices in life. Salakia, before we get that one, let's pull some of these other scriptures y'all might. Give me Proverbs 14 and 12. Go ahead.
Proverbs 14:12. It seemeth right unto a man are the ways of death.
See that? The things that was going to get you to being the richest man alive, or the dude with all the hoes, or whatever you dreamed about, right? The time ain't right. It seemed like what you were supposed to be doing. All right? But in them, read it again.
There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
But in them are the ways of death, right? Death is coming to you for doing what you think you need to do, instead of what the Most High said to do. That's what we was reading earlier. It's all about choices. Remember, I was just watching the video from Thursday where General Lyman was bringing out the law being spiritual, but me being carnal. What y'all have to understand, and I try to bring this out every single week in this class, that this walk, I don't like using the word, I'm gonna have to use it, but Salakia, the walk that you on of walking and doing the will of the Most High Power is not one that you chose to do in the beginning. Therefore, you don't want to do it. What you mean? We had camp on South Beach. 6-hour drive away from me. I'm at the top of Florida. I would have to get up at roughly around 2:30 in the morning. Go get Officer Matazapah. We go get Officer Thawashab. get down that joint about 9, 10 o'clock, do the Sabbath service. After being up from 2 o'clock in the morning, go to camp, come back, try to kick it with the brothers, get on the road and come back every Saturday, right? There were many Saturdays where I'm like, well, why we just can't have camp in Orlando? Well, why we can't just have camp in Tampa? Well, why we can't have camp in, you know what I'm saying? There's plenty of times where a brother has gotten an order and don't understand why he got to do that order. Don't want to do the order. Who gives a damn what you want? Make the choice to do what the Lord wants you to do, because you never know what He's trying to do. That's the purpose of this class. In case y'all ain't caught on to what I'm saying, this is what I'm talking about right now. Making the decision to do what the Lord wants done, not the decision to do what you want to do. Read the verse again out, if you don't mind.
There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are ways of death.
There you go. Just imagine if you would have had all that money you prayed for. You would have been somewhere in somebody's crack house right now, and you would have lost your mind. You would have OD'd. You would have popped every pill you could find. It's a blessing the Lord ain't give you no damn money. Now you got to sit your broke behind in this class and learn how to please the Lord so we can get rulership under righteous kings. Y'all got that, right? All right. Give me Proverbs 3 and 5, the one I had called for earlier. Let's get it.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Most High with all thine heart.
Trust in yourself.
In the Most High with all thine heart.
Trust your old lady.
Trust in the Most High with all thine heart.
Your second wife.
Trust in the Most High with all thine heart.
Your kids.
Trust in the Most High with all thine heart.
Trust in the white man.
Trust in the Most High with all thine heart.
Now, what is your heart? Y'all got to get this in your mind. You got to get this in your mind, huh? Everything is mental, because that's where everything spiritual happens. That's where the devil tries to defeat you at, in your mind. Why? Because your mind is what tells your body what to do. I remember, Salakia for my language, but I'm going to say it the way that the brother used to say it. I remember I had a homeboy of mine, and before we used to get ready to go out to the club or do something like that, every time, I don't care where we was going or whatever, Salakia for what I'm going to say. The brother used to be like, I know an old pussy ass nigga gonna try me tonight. Now, was that really gonna happen? Of course it was. Why? Because it was in his mind. I know y'all don't get it. Keep going, dog.
Come. And lean not unto thine own understanding.
Trust in the Lord with your entire mind and lean not to your own understanding. You don't understand what's going on. You don't know what the Lord is doing. You don't understand the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. You don't even understand the basics of what we're learning here in this class. So forget your understanding. Go ahead.
What I was going to say, you don't get understanding in your heart.
What you mean by that?
You know what I'm saying? Like, a Christian would think that heart means the thing you pump blood out of, but in the same sense.
You're right. You're absolutely right. It's all in your mind, huh? That's what it is. You get understanding in your mind. Y'all understand what the brother's trying to bring out? It ain't no understanding. That heart has the physical heart has a job, and that's to pump blood throughout the body. You don't get understanding in your heart. So trust in the Lord with your mind. Don't think you know every damn thing is what this is saying. Read verse 6.
Verse 6, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths.
How do you acknowledge the Most High? Remember, when we went up, if you go back to some of your notes, what the Lord was saying, you turned your face away from me, meaning you did not acknowledge the Most High. Therefore, I turned my face away from you. Only reason we going through this hell is because we didn't acknowledge the Most High. So how do we acknowledge him? Anybody?
I like you.
Go ahead, Trooper Bakwash.
To praise or worship them.
That's a little bit okay. How do you worship? How do you worship the Most High? It's like when you go and you sing a song to him, or you know what I'm saying, like Officer Shawoor is a hell of a drum player. Do he worship the Most High by playing drums, or do I worship the Most High by doing music, or you know, a sister with a hell of a voice, or you know, what you mean by that?
Praising, like prayer or something.
All right, Salakia, one of the brothers want to help him out. How do you acknowledge the Most High? Go ahead, Trooper Gabar. Go ahead, Trooper Gabar.
By keeping his commandments, sir.
By keeping his commandments, right? Precept. I pulled this one off a lot too. Go ahead, Trooper.
This is the love of God that we keep his commandments.
Most High Christ. 1 John 3 and 4, is it? 1 John 3 and 4, I believe. Go there first, because that's off the top of my head. Acknowledge. Go ahead.
1 John 5 and 3.
1 John 5 and 3. No, give me 3 and 4. What 3 and 4 say?
That's sin. Transgression.
I want the one that say, hereby we know that we know him if we keep his commandments. That's 5 and 3. That's go ahead.
Did I answer on the test?
Absolutely. That's all I teach, huh? That's all I teach. Huh? The brother, the trooper here just asked, like, ain't that an answer on the test? Like, absolutely. What the hell you think I'm doing here?
I'm trying to remember them.
Go ahead. Somebody got it? Hereby we do know him.
1 John.
You got it? Come on, man. They're going to kick us out of the library in a little bit.
1 John chapter 2, verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments.
In all him acknowledge thy ways. You see that? This is how you prove you know him. Keep going. What did it say after that?
He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him.
You too wild. He that saith, I know him, and keep him. You saying, I acknowledge the Lord. I praise the Lord. I worship the Lord. I got a personal relationship with the Lord, right? He that saith that he knows him or he acknowledges him and does not keep his commandments. Read it again.
He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments.
This in the New Testament is a liar. And the truth is not in him. He is a damn lie. That's what the Bible says. Your mama is a damn lie. Salakia. Your grandmama, your aunties, the pastor, they all. Read it again.
He that saith, I know his commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in him.
And they is not in the truth. Now, you being in the truth, you know the right way to acknowledge the Most High. So we went there. Let's go back to Proverbs 3 and 6. In all your ways. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I didn't get that one. What was it again? 1 John what?
1 John 2 and 3. And I think we read verse 4 as well.
All right.
1 John 2 and 3 in the New Testament for the people that say the law is done away with.
I got it set the word.
Salaki, what you were saying, Gabar?
I was saying I got it, so water.
No sweat. Somebody else said Salaki? All right. All right. Whoever was reading Proverbs, who was that? All right. Yamayan, go ahead. In all thy ways, acknowledge him.
And he shall direct thy path.
And he shall direct thy path with an S on it. Path with an S on it. What does that mean? You ever heard somebody say you're going down the wrong path? Go ahead, Doc.
Oh, that's it, Ottawa. I was just going to say exactly as you said. Ottawa Khan.
You wasn't finna say that,
Not exactly as you said.
Okay,
Ottawa.
what you was finna say? It's an interactive class. I want to hear what y'all thinking.
I'm just going to use the example that path means, as you just said, there's a way that a man thinks in his mind is the right path.
Yeah, that's a precept we read earlier. All of this is coming together, and this is what I'm using to sum it up. Acknowledge the Most High, meaning keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. He's going to tell you what way you should go. That's also the spirit of counsel. While we on that, brothers do not like counsel. Why? Because they want to make their own choices. If you go back, when the children of Israel heard the voice of the Lord, they were frightened and they said, no, we don't want to. You go ahead and speak to us through Moses. They didn't want to hear what the Lord had to say. And then when Moses told them what the Lord said, they ain't listen. They wanted to make a golden calf anyway. Then when all of the prophets came, all of the prophets was put under scrutiny for telling people what the Lord said. When Christ came and told us what the Lord said, they hung him from a tree.
May I have your attention, please?
Y'all understand, right?
The library will close in 15 minutes.
So what it's saying is if you start with the commandments by acknowledging that the Most High is over you, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. That's all referencing reverencing the Most High. Thy kingdom, the one you want, not mine. I remember one of my homeboys asked me a question. This was when I was in the church. He was like, is there going to be some hoes in heaven? Because if not, I don't really want to go. That's what the brother asked me. That was a real question because the brother was a real nigga. Just as simple as he want to be. This thing is about rulership. It's way bigger than that. It's way, if you understood heaven and hell, then you would understand. In that day, 7 women shall take hold to 1 man. Who the hell wants a whore in that day? But guess what? I ain't know the milk then. All I could tell him is, hey, you want hoes, you might as well stay here. They right here, nigga. It's hoes everywhere. Salakia. Y'all understand my point, right? We got to think bigger. We got to think bigger. We gotta lean out to our own understanding because everything we've been taught was wrong. Everything. Acknowledge the Most High by keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. He gonna put us on the right track. Call for counsel. Don't be afraid to have your ways and your paths directed. Counsel will save your life. It will save your relationships. It will save everything. It'll also get people out of your life that don't need to be there, and it'll keep the ones there that want to be there. Trust me, all right? Because I ain't trusting in myself. So when I tell you to trust me, I'm telling you, just like it say in Proverbs 3:5, to trust in the Most High. Don't lean to your own understanding. Ask plenty of questions. The Lord already chose you, or you wouldn't even be in this class. Choose him back by acknowledging him. He'll tell you what to do and what not to do, which way to go. Everybody understand, right? Any questions on or off topic? No. All right, go ahead, Trooper Gabar.
Well, this is not like a big one, but like it's just like a little small question. Back to that when we was like reading where it says like in the place of judgment under the sun, there was like righteousness and wickedness, and like you were saying, like where else does that happen? Like under the sun. I was just thinking like a Christian could say, "Oh well, it's in heaven," but like there's like bad people are going to get judged there too. You know what I mean? Like when you be seeing it on like a TV show, you see like hell and heaven. Like if you're not good, like you get dropped down to hell. You know what I mean? So like that's like something I wanted to just put out there.
If the sun is fire, right, and you're gonna be dropped in fire well, I don't know how you do what the Lord say to do when the law is done away with. If you're gonna go to hell, I'm trying to walk with you because I understand what you're saying. If you're gonna go to hell, mean being dropped in fire for not doing what the Lord say do, and the sun is fire, how could the place of judgment, meaning where you judge for your sins, be under the sun when the fire is above you? I'm just saying some simple stuff for a simple Christian.
No, because like they believe like hell is like under the ground, so like I guess like you dropping down like a whole open.
You saying that's under? You saying that's under the sun too, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm saying like what if they would say like you know like how Christians are, like how they be like
right. What I'm saying is the fact that righteousness was there too lets you know that.
Like how okay, what I'm trying to say, why it's like one of them say like like how you be seeing like TV shows, right, where like you got like this place and like you got like people who's willing to get into heaven, people who's willing to get into hell. Why is it like this? What they try to say is like, look at this.
Salaki, whoever ain't got their phone on mute your phone. I want to hear what the trooper is saying, and I ain't got much time. Go ahead, Doc.
Okay, so why is they saying like the righteous people are like the good souls that will get into heaven, and they're saying like the unrighteous people are the bad souls that's going to hell. Like that's what I'm trying to say.
And that verse cuts that because it said that under the sun righteousness was there, so that means heaven was under the sun too, and hell was under the sun. That's why you asked the question, what's under the sun?
Yeah, I forgot like the earth is under the sun. So
right.
Yeah.
What else is under the sun? Huh? Like they'll get it. So it's that simple. And you know, they'll just say things to confuse you because they confused. That's all. All right. All right. Somebody else had a question? Go ahead.
I just wanted to know, if I may, if it's a two-part class, because I know you said you had some precepts you weren't able to break down with us because of time's sake.
The main one is Romans chapter 9. We can go into that. The whole thing about Romans 9 is showing how the Most High chose chose Jacob and hated Esau. How the Most High chose the children of Abraham, but it wasn't just all the children of Abraham. He chose Isaac. And the whole point was, now that the Most High has chose you, are you going to choose him? That's really, it wasn't, I mean, the whole Bible is about that. So, I mean, I can link any precept to this. The point of it is that you get what I'm trying to explain and the reason why those precepts are there. And you can probably add 10 more to it yourself, even just with your knowledge of being in, for how long you've been in the truth, and be like, yeah, this go with that too. This go with that too. And that's where these classes come from. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was pretty much all of them. Only one I would have brought out probably would have been Romans 9. But in this class, in Israelite one-on-one class, we're gonna go to Romans 9 100 million times, and we're gonna break that down. If not, we'll do it on the Sunday mandatory class. So any other questions? Go ahead.
Yeah, it was just a general question. How many nations, like they're in the Bible or like in the world, that, you know?
There are 18 nations in the Bible. 18. All right. Now there are different tribes under these different nations, but the Lord separated the 18 nations. A lot of them are in Psalms 83. A lot of them are in Genesis, I believe 19, Genesis 25. But if you start at Psalms 83, it'll talk about a lot of them. All right. Now, if you break the tribes down into, because they are said to be different nations, but they one people, it's the same way with the tabernacles of Edom and all of these other people. You have different people, but they the same nation. All right. All right. Any other questions? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, could you repeat the ones in Genesis one more time?
Nah. Call me later. Go look at the YouTube video. Nah, the reason why I'm like that, because we about to get kicked out. Somebody else had a question? Nah, you too wild. Go ahead, I just said that because he was asking me to repeat myself.
I had a question off the topic.
That's fine. Go ahead.